with this matchup. There's a bunch of haters over there saying that they think that M80 is going to win. You know what? I think Parabellum might have a fighting chance, Nick.
Honestly, I have to agree with you, especially because we are in Oregon. It is so fun to see how we have all these roster changes, and the maps are also very friendly towards having so many changes in your roster, because Border being the first map, relatively straightforward, Oregon being the second map, also very simple and linear compared to maps like Bank and Theme Park. So it seems like comfortability is the name of the game here. Operator bans, similar story. We are seeing that stable Ying ban going out time and time again. Hibana being chosen by M80 to strengthen that basement hold on the bomb side, meaning that all those hatches can't be opened up as easily, or you gotta bring different Heartbreach utility. Asami,
Not a surprise. This is going to be a soulless operator ban. So far, 2 of the operator bans have been identical to our very first map, and a Valkyrie ban on Oregon.
It's the other Intel operator.
Yes, of course. The Ying ban is probably the least surprising of all of the things which you see on your screen. Why is Ying such a potent operator on Oregon, Nicholas?
So obviously, I will always say it's that basement bomb site, right? That's where she's really powerful. And you always say, but actually, it's also everywhere else. Oregon, the way it works for every single map and every single room is that it's a relatively large room across all the bomb sites, which means one single Candela will gain you so much value. If you put one Candela in the middle of the B bomb site, it'll blind almost every single area besides close that elbow rotation. So Ying in general gets a ton of value from a gadget. She then can bring secondary gadget of smokes or that Heartbreach canister. That makes her so flexible. You can play her all 4 attacking rounds on those various bomb sites, and her gun, 81 bullets. Who doesn't love having that many bullets to shoot on through on those opening engagements? And also, mirror being opened. Direct counters the Ying. Now Skies on this mirror operator can thrive on the bomb zone, not have to worry about it. What's the answer, you might ask, if Ying is banned? Capital, Kino, right off the rip, recognizes this. Picks up the operator, he has smokes, he has fires, he can help isolate areas of the map in a similar fashion to Ying. So a great read by M80, a great counterplay to Parabellum's opening operator bans.
It's going to be a debut for both Spiker and for Fish on the side of Parabellum. That's it, by the way. It's Spoit's NA debut. So we do get to say that.
That wasn't on my 2023 bingo card that Spoit was doing the NAL, but I'm all for it.
I mean, this is a guy who won a major back with Rogue at the time. Now they go by Koi.
True.
This was back at the Berlin Major.
Very true.
Gave us what I think is easily... Reading Diaz like a book. So long. Farewell. Nice toss out from Laxing to read into that. And the Amaru swinging into back tower is a fairly common play for these attacking teams.
Yeah, I was
surprised to see it happen, but Diaz down for the count. It's not ideal.
I would say for M80 though, they've done good work, because while that happened, they got first stock control, doing verticals inside a kitchen for that dining side.
Hold on a second.
That's me with him. He's out. He's absolutely out. He could use a smoke arrow there, or a smoke bolt if you will on the Capital, but he has no backup. Recognize that this is too risky, or lost Diaz. Gonna fall back upstairs, use the utility, because Kino did have those secondary Heartbreach canisters on the Capital. He was needed first to breach, then the execute.
Thought he was going to pull something off here. No, I mean, I totally agree with you. Spoit coming onto this M80 squad is probably the most surprising thing that happened in the North American League, in my opinion.
Yeah, when I heard about it, I was like, that's gotta be false. There's no way. And
when I heard the initial rumors, I was like, this really? I was like, okay.
And then it wasn't announced till like a few hours ago today. So it's like, is it actually happening? But it is. And here we are.
It is, in case you were curious. It is the real deal.
Yeah, not just a name change.
No. That's the real Spoit. Yeah. I can't believe you replaced him on Koi, though. that was the craziest rumor.
That was the craziest rumor for sure.
Nade goes in, Spoit taking some damage. Down he goes to Spiff. It's M80 on the board, but Parabellum are answering back, and okay, that's the round. A very quick one. Everybody died.
Damn.
5 people died in the span of about 6 seconds. Radical, dudes. First round goes to PB on defense.
You know, M80 though chose that backside execute, and the thing is, the timing for Sport on that big tower staircase a bit unfortunate, right? Toxic Babe went down, cutting the rotation, but the rest of M80 inside that blue double door, they said, we're going. Sport had to sprint to the Toxic Babe and to help his team not be that last member alive in a bad position, and unfortunately, he was caught sprinting. He was shot, couldn't fight back, and that means the entire pressure from M80 was coming from a single location of that blue double door attack. Because they lost Diaz early on, they didn't have the manpower to strike from that many different locations, because imagine he was alive. He can drop the freezer hats, drop down laundry hats, go for a backstab. That's where the mirror windows are, but the thing is, nobody was really behind them from Parabellum because they knew all the members were gonna be in that backside. They counted 3 people outside double door blue, 1 person big tower stairs. That's easy math. Meeting half sure, but you got members in that position, it doesn't really matter.
It's a challenge when you see a round like that to break down exactly what happens when, you know, 5 people die in 2 seconds.
But that's Oregon. He gets blood in that basement attack almost every single time.
Oh, it's an upstairs hold onto the dorm's bomb site. Extension down below. You saw attic being fully reinforced off as well. What is one thing that is absent on the side of Parabellum?
Well, the thing is, what is what? No, what is absent, Parker?
There's no bandit, there's no Kaid. So you've only got the meat jammers, that's it.
Okay, that's a fair point.
It's the only thing to slow you down. Not uncommon for a team to bring some of the electrification, but that's also a part of it. As part of that closet wall has been opened up.
I was gonna say, yeah, they're actually adapted the entire strategy to say, we don't need electrification. Open up the closet wall, extend out, shouldn't start a trophy, establish that crossfire. Laxing, unmute downstairs with those jammers, has a C4, has verticality. He can find Spot in a single doorway entry point, and he has the Irony Gate from Spiff to support him. So unless they can find these grenade kills from below, from M80, they have no easy way to get into the bomb site.
Iconic on that nook. Had one nade go out. Not too far removed from Laxing. Playing down below with the shotgun. Laxing on this mute roll yet again. Down goes Spiker to Spoit, and now that will compel Laxing to get into action. Multiple players from M80 in close proximity. The logic bombs going off. Still ringing through. Kino has used both of them.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Every member is in the corner from PB, waiting for that first engagement from M80. They know they have to come to them. But with these shields being destroyed by these grenades, it's going to mean that Spiff's location is compromised.
He's in a tough spot. He does have some ADSs, though. Fish, 1 pick. Skies goes down, so does Spiff. M80 getting in there blows, leaving Laxing still down below. But I mean, at this point, with a minute to go, is he playing solely to stop whoever's on big window? You better hope that that's the only player that's holding on to that diffuser, or the player holding on to that diffuser. Laxing spotted by Iconic. Now it's all up to Fish in this position in dorms. He's got spam pings, but they're surrounding him, putting him in an unideal position as diffuser goes down. Diaz will be successful in that manner. Fish is a way out. He's found it. Able to control the recoil onto Diaz, but Iconic getting ever closer towards the top of White Stairs. Cannot see Gomez to his left. Valiant effort, but just too many players for you to contend against. M80 answers back with a much more comfortable round than we saw out of them back in round 1.
One of the very, very difficult things to do if you're Parabellum in that position, and Laxing most specifically, is when you're downstairs holding on to a single area, that big window jump in. Well, if the members of the team holding the bomb site itself, they fall apart, they die, you're going to be stuck downstairs with no way up, because you're more likely being held by a player or a drone, maybe claymores, etc. It's not ideal. And to make matters worse, Laxing actually died downstairs without even really getting up the wide staircase back to bomb site, leaving Fish in that 1 versus 4/1 versus 3. And the opening duels really do tell the majority of the story for Oregon, because once you start finding numbers advantage, you can just throw bodies at the problem and eventually it'll disappear. Parabellum strategically playing really solid siege in the first 2 rounds. They got good understanding of the key positions, the deployable shields, protecting with ADSs or magnets, but when it comes to the individual gunfights, that's where a team like M80, they come out ahead. The addition of Iconic and Sport means there is an endless amount of clutch potential and firepower for that mid-round adaptation. And the coach of M80, But then he actually made a tweet very recently, kind of explaining why M80 chose to go for roster changes, because they had a great time of last year, but they needed that mid-round adaptation, and they thought someone like Spoid could bring just that.
It seems we're going to get a rehost as these 2 rounds. You know, you don't have a ton to go off of because you haven't seen as much from these teams as you would hope. So now we'll get another crack at it. Before the rehost came in, it looked like this PB squad was going upstairs. As far as I'm aware, the rehost rules have not changed. They still need to go to the same bomb site that they were on before. What is the background that Kino has, by the way? Is that one of the new team backgrounds, or is that just something completely unrelated? I saw the Cyclops that was being used by Lion?
It was
Spoit?
Yeah.
And then Iconic was running the G2 background. I couldn't quite tell what Kino's background was.
That's a good question, actually.
I do want to say that I am a fan of pretty much all of the new Rainbow Six Share skins, but I think one of the best changes that was made are no more are they just doing the same carbon copy of the team logos.
Yep.
You know, the old gray, and then you've got the team roster, like the team logo right there. No, now they allow themselves to personalize backgrounds, and I think that is really rad. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah, I saw the G2 one when it went on social media, and it's like this massive, like the entire thing is filled out. Just like we saw with the Spot one, the CAG, every single area of the other background card is being utilized in terms of color and design, essentially. Taking up a lot more space into that corner, as you said.
Everything seems to be working just fine here in this 3rd round. Early Lion burn by Spoit. See some very annoying operators being brought. You have to deal with a Nook, you have to deal with a Dokkaebi, you have to deal with a Lion. That's not particularly fun.
I mean, to make one, you know, Laxing is in the mute, that can nullify at least the Lion and Dokkaebi if you're near a jammer. Of course, only 4 jammers with 5 members, and you have to nice on walls, so not every member is equally lucky there, but some people are more comfortable than others due to those jammers being available.
Is Spoit running like the beginner pack universal skin? Is that what that is?
There's no way.
I think that's the beginner pack.
Oh, God.
Universal skin. I think so. First logic bomb goes off, a very familiar position for Laxing, who's able to squelch that call. He's got 2 mute jammers, full reinforcement, and a Surya gate in front of him. He's going to be pretty protected in that position.
And I think M80 is going to have a similar approach, right? They can ignore Laxing for the majority of the round if they want to and strike elsewhere. And we see Iconic on this lobby staircase looking for a different approach.
Oh no, Sky is in a position where Iconic picks him off. And yet again, it's the Nook lurking down below to do some serious damage. It's the Ella, who at close range could engage. Laxing will drop out right into the waiting arms of Iconic. Excellent team play from M80. They knew Laxing was in that spot.
That is beautiful. Look at the time between the summer charge going out on Iconic. He just arrived on location the second the wall got opened up. That's when actually either going to stay in the corner or drop down that hatch. Either way, if he stays under pressure, if he drops under pressure, almost guaranteed dead. And that's just off one member making a rotative play while his teammates place around it. Beautiful stuff from M80.
Iconic lost about half his HP in the process, but half his HP for 2 kills, and now Spiff has been all but mortally wounded as well as Rotero drone goes on in. That's another player, Parabellum down for the count, but Spiff and Spiker putting together a nice body of work. Diffuser in the hands of Gomez. It's almost the halfway point. Spiff is gone, Spiker will need to clutch out, smoking his way back to the bomb site. Everybody knows that smoking ain't allowed in school here, Spiker. He's no more, he gets a single kill before he's traded out. A nice exit frag, but it's not enough. Through the smoke. Easy read for M80. They take their 2nd round in a row.
Honestly, I would say this is like impressive because M80, you know, squad got put together pretty last minute given the whole visa situation, sport and travel and whatnot, and just getting things put together after Invitationals where most, you know, teams that were a part of this roster rotation, they played a part of that tournament. So I wasn't expecting to see this level of coordination. It's a simple thing, but it takes a lot to really put into motion. Someone's got to, you know, figure out, okay, Ella's inside a meeting, Laxing's playing server again. Which order do we kill them in, and who is the main player going to be? While Iconic's on Nook downstairs, it makes sense to make him make the first move, and we saw Iconic silence out of Freezer in the basement, kind of droning things out. Came up lobby stairs, found a kill, immediately turns around, sprints all the way to Freezer, says, guys, I'm ready for the next one. Open the wall, Laxing job, 2nd kill got secured, and again, the opening kill man advantage has been the story for all first 3 rounds. Round number 1, PB, they get open the kill. Maximum does sequence out a big tower. They win the round. Then the following 2 rounds, both on the Kids Bunk attack, well, M80, they get open and kill. They also win the rounds. So now we're gonna go back to that stronghold, the basement bomb site, where all defenders love to win because they open and kill.
How controversial of you to raise such a statistic that
it's almost
they
like,
who get the first kill gets
it's
the
almost like it's important,
Wow.
right? It's almost like teams
Crazy.
need to focus on that.
crazy stuff.
And the thing is, there are teams out there who will have a high opening kill percentage, but a terrible conversion to round victory. So they get the advantage, but they cannot do anything with it. So being able to do so is an important statistic for sure.
It's a very standard hold now in blue. Spiker sitting by elbow with the deployable shield up. There's a Lucy Banshee to slow them down. Question is, will M80 decide to go for a blue take? Because teams can go for hatches, forego all of blue entirely, get somebody down that laundry stairs. The one thing that stopped the laundry take before from M80 was the mirror window inside a closet. If you take a look, it's over by freezer now. I don't think they have one. Oh no, they do have the closet, but it's a different side. They haven't opened up next to the mirror window. It won't chase anybody away, but it allows Skies to reposition himself, though nobody is actively watching the mirror and closet.
Yeah, essentially what the mirror windows being on the front side allows you is that you have one member holding essentially both mirror windows, allowing 4 people to hold the back side. That means the attackers either will attack the utility of the mirror window, which is difficult, or they'll attack the back side, but they could be matched 5 versus 4 or 4 versus 4. Either way, defenders benefit majorly from this. Attackers have to try and deal with those things.
Gomez taking some damage. You can hear the cries and yelps of a Maverick as he attempts to get one of those hatches open. There's a Kaid present this time, so electrification still there. Gomez using just about half that tank, it looked like, to open up one of those hatches. Look at this. They've opened up all of meeting completely, and now Flores drone will go back towards the back stairs. Oh, boy, taking serious damage as he's almost chased off in his position. Down goes a nade, 1 minute to go, and he'll scout for more information, but very quickly the Gemini is taken out of action. This is a backside take. Nice shot from Fish. The fire will continue to spread. Iconic is down. It's a team kill from Diaz. He wants all of them. So far, he's got 3 kills to his name, 2 of which have been on Parabellum. But they haven't dealt with the PB players over by Laundry. Diaz and Kino. We talked about these support-esque players, whether it be Kino and Gomez or Kino and Diaz. Spiker still has 1 toxic babe in his back pocket. He greets the Capitao. So many people have lost in that exact same position. The Rotero drone will take out the bulletproof cam, but Diaz knows exactly what lays in front of him. A 1v3, and he flashes himself. Not the spot you want to be in. Marching down the corridor towards Laundry, and it's a crouched Laxing to finish him off. This bomb site, very firmly PB's playground. They've won it both times. They've locked it for the remainder of the first half. 2-2.
Honestly, just looking at Parabellum, it looks like they had the fundamentals locked in, right? How they set up the bomb sites, the positions that they played, how they hold things, solid. But tertiary and secondary bomb site, when things aren't as solid for them on terms of the site itself, things kind of fall apart. And despite Parabellum winning that second defensive side on basement, they're going to call a timeout. Probably to talk about what side do we go to? How do we fix the problem?
Yeah, I mean, you lost the dorm's bomb sites pretty decisively.
Yes.
Laundry Supply is and was one of the most defender-sided bomb sites in the entire game of Rainbow Six Siege. Doesn't matter what map, doesn't matter what teams, doesn't matter what operator bans. Defenders will almost always win that bomb site down below. So PB have done what they need to do. They've followed that pattern. Dorms is a relatively easy bomb site to defend as well, but we have seen significant struggles from this PB team on that setup. A lot of it is hinged on Laxing being down below, playing in that position to retake white stairs, get a nitro cell off, potentially stop somebody at big window. It's a strong spot to be for the mute, but Parabellum have relied maybe a bit too much on it because M80 dance around it. Either they ignore Laxing entirely, which is what happened in round number 2, or they hunt him down aggressively and very quickly on, which is what happened in round number 3. Either way, it means that Laxing in that position is a non-factor.
Yep.
So if you're going to go back to dorms and your defense hinges on Laxing in that spot, what do you do?
Yeah.
Well, in this case, I don't think the timeout was long enough to give them enough of an idea how to change that because whether you want to take or whether you want to defend dorms fundamentally in a different way, they're not going there. They're going to a completely different bomb site this time.
Yeah, I do like this. And you can argue this both ways, right? Sure, PB have not seen how M80 will attack this, so it'll be unknown to them. But the same thing we said, M80 don't know how PB are going to defend it. So both teams are now in the unknown. Of course, there are expectations, right? These teams, they scrim this map every single day. They have attacks for the attack and the defense. For Parabellum, they're holding small tower. ADS is verticality, and you got a Warden of Fish playing upstairs, holding on that area. M80, first decision to make. Are they going to challenge Fish in that position, kind of like with Laxing server, or just kind of leave him be floating on that island, unable to help anybody else from his team, and just hold map control? Well, the answer is M80, they don't care. Go big tower, halfway across the map, take that area relatively for free, and start working away from A to B.
I think it was discussed by this... But the analyst, when talking about the teams ahead, is how Laxing plays as a player. He does like to play those lurk styles. He does like to play those solo roam styles. And he was doing it yet again. Up in attic as he escapes through that attic hatch. On the Aruna, he's able to get away relatively quickly and unscathed, not losing a single point of HP. There's a Doc on the board. Not unusual to see that operator, but still, Spiker's 3 stim pistols can bring people back to basically full HP.
Yeah. Now it's a big question I have for myself is Laxing going to play like he used to back in stage 1 and 2 of 2022? Or is he going to have a newfound playstyle with this roster and having some time off from the bench and coaching Elevate? The Skies, also that old guard, gets the opening go onto Iconic, it's Bok off the board and PP in the driver's seat.
Oh my, Parabellum, those first 2 picks. That's bad for M80, spelling serious trouble right now. Lost Iconic, lost Gomez. Spoit now losing half his HP as well. Looks like the timeout has worked. First nade gets tossed in by Spoit, but it hits that opening, bounces in the wrong direction. Now it's Laxing to find yet another. Can we see our first flawless round? Yes, we can. First flawless round here in the new North America League, and it's Parabellum to do it.
And then what a way, territory bomb site after tactical timeout to figure things out, works flawlessly for them. A big surprise. And again, this looks like a matchup of M80 with great synergy and mid-round adaptation versus great fundamentals from Parabellum. When they can hold on to their ground and nothing's really being figured out by the opponents, rock solid. They played all the positions perfectly. Dropping down that kid's bedroom hatch bomb site when needed to, when grenades started flying out. Other members staying above because they're not being spotted out by drones as of yet. M80 struggling to use their drones actively on those mid-round executes to make their inter-fraggers take fights with knowledge and information. You saw it, Spoit is jiggle peeking every single corner of the map, not knowing where the enemy is. Then he overflicks too far, being a little bit lazy with his check, and then gets found out as a free kill, or a free death rather, because of lack of information.
Well, first half for Parabellum, let's shut up the analyst desk. I'm certain they were haters. There's a bunch of haters.
Were. Even Jesse was hating, right? Which is like, I mean,
drinking on that haterade in between these naps. Jesse, you're not supposed to be the logical guy. Jesse, you're supposed to be the hot takes guy now. That's your job on the broadcast. I would like some more hot takes from you, served piping hot, of course.
To be fair, I think Demo, as we kind of dwell into the weeds, I think he'll be our hot take guy, just like kind of passively, you know? He'll take care of himself.
The little hairy hot takes.
Yeah, we love him.
Harry Hot Takes Dempster. There you go. You got yourself a new handle.
What is surprising to me is that Laxing is still inside a server. PB's primary focus is the same downstairs, but there is an addition here. Skies has swapped onto the mirror, so the bomb set itself has changed. And I think it's because Laxing downstairs wasn't necessarily a problem. And now he's gotten even further support by Skies' mirror window, saying, okay, let's double up. He stays alive, bomb set stays alive, everyone's happy.
I mean, I think fixing the way that Laxing plays this bomb site is pretty critical given what we've seen out of those first 2 rounds. Adaptations are really the name of the game. It was something that M80 talked about, was they said that they struggled with adaptations. Yeah. That is why they made the roster moves that they did. Well, if they struggle with adaptations, they might have some difficulty dealing with a new PB line of defense that has adapted itself to deal with the way that M80 decides to attack this bomb site. Look.
Oh, he's changed position too. So Laxing chooses to get active instead because he recognizes they're not coming for him. So get out early, get somewhere else. Let Skies be that downstairs player instead.
Well, we said Laxing is isolated all the way back in round number 2. Down goes Spiker. Iconic is in. Iconic is in. Iconic is in. He gets 2 kills. Almost gets a third on the Spiff, who secures the down but cannot finish things off as Gomez just manages to crawl away. As the diffuser goes down, Kino gets 1 pick and then takes to the objective and leaves Skies and Laxing on the white stairs. And guess who's waiting? It's Spoit himself. That's why you import him. Bringing one of the best of Europe over to do some serious damage on NA soil.
Yeah.
First half, dead even. 3-3 for both teams.
And such a different attack from M80 as well. Iconic doing that classic approach that Astralis is known for. Just getting the bomb site out of nowhere completely effortlessly. I assume he came from either attic window or attic breach from big tower because he was inside a kid's dorm out of nowhere. And that's where Nuke is the perfect operator, right? If there's any, sound cues, you can nullify those at the gadgetry and the camera, same story there. You will not be seen or heard. You will get into the bomb site if you're Iconic in that case. We're tied up 3-3. Not the result we expected, but one that is very welcomed.
Are you forced to say that?
No, I think it's great.
An outcome unexpected, but welcomed nonetheless.
Absolutely.
First half in the books, by the way. You talked about that opening duel. Barring that last round, every round that was won by the team that got that first pick.
Yeah.
It was a tie, or a draw rather, in terms of opening pick in round number 6. Diffuser planted 3 times by M80, done in all the rounds that they were successful on, so you could also say that.
Oh, yeah.
You planted the diffuser, you win the round. Easy. Simple stuff.
Huh?
You don't need to be a mathematician to know that one. No degree in diffuserology required.
Diffuserology.
In terms of bomb site rotation, Laundry was played twice by Parabellum. In the first and fourth round, they won it both times. They struggled with Dorms, though. M80, a perfect 3-0 on that Dorms bomb site on attack. The other defensive bomb site won by Parabellum was that Dining Meeting, which is very much a tertiary bomb site, and is a little surprising, frankly, that it was won so steadfastly by PB.
Oh, the trade. Okay.
Oh, nice shot.
Well, that means it's anyone's round because no one got the opening kill, technically speaking, but also a very different stylistic choice to defend this base and bomb site. Parabellum, solid in their setup, right? The mirror windows, the shields, etc. Whereas M80, very aggressive, very proactive. They're bringing the Goyo, the Legion, the Oryx. They're going for gunfights and shutting down PB's entry. And I mean, trading 1 for 1, I would argue, as a defender, it's worth it. You're trading Oryx for a Buck with secondary Heartbreach gadget. It is a good trade for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Though Oryx is the fastest operator in the game, get him on the map pretty quickly. I don't know if you know that.
And no one can beat him in that department, but then again, speed.
He's a fast boy. He zooms around.
Speed is not relevant for this one, Parker, I don't think, but progress is, and so far the attacker's being quite slow about it.
The meeting hatch is soft.
Yeah.
We don't see that every day.
No, I mean, I guess that's for the roam, right? But Spot with that secondary shotgun, he got taken out early. Sure, Kino Iconic, one
Not a second. It's a bailiff. Fish is down. They're just barging on in. Parabellum looking to exploit a hole in the defense. M80 looked prepared to deal with it, but everybody's hitting their shots, but not enough to kill everyone until M80 does it. It's yet again another round where every single player engaged in that duel dies very quickly. What a mess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what an absolute mess.
What a mess.
Off-pace attack by, by PB, gets punished.
I love that round, though. I love it. So M80, so PB get, arguably they trade the first pick.
Yeah.
They realize, hey, they are completely designed and...
Okay.
I thought that was his bedroom, but then I saw a pool table in the back, and I was like, there's no way this guy has a pool table in his bedroom. Come on, Kino. What kind of luxury are you living?
I was gonna say, you'd be surprised.
Just splashing that. Wrong kind of pool. Anyway. I like that read, though, from Parabellum, Nick, because they saw that it was set up for a complete roam.
Yeah.
And they said, hey, they left these hatches soft. Yeah. They are expecting us to do what we need to do to cross off offsite players. What if we just hit the site? Let's do it.
Yeah.
And they did it. And they almost won the round, but there was a bunch of sloppy gunfights where it seemed like 4 separate players mag dumped, did a bunch of damage, but not enough, and that was it. And then ultimately, M80 just came out ahead at the end.
I think that's a very accurate description of what happened, because I did see a mag dump and no one died. Oh my god! No! No! Spoit!
On to Laxing as well. The Buck on again!
Welcome back from a short-term retirement from Laxing, a coaching break, if you will. It sucks dying that way if you're Laxing, right? You start up, you make a call, guys, I'm gonna go, I'm dead. Okay. He's on drone duty now, and you can see Laxing is hovering between a drone and player spectatorship. He'll do some calling, I'm sure, with his experience that he brings to the team from Parabellum, but that means that Bach is off the board. That's half your vertical, half your soft reach. You do have 6 grenades if you're Parabellum. They're gonna have to hit their marks because you're already down in terms of player count. PB has downstairs control. Those air jabs from Skies, being a flex player for his team, he can control the downstairs retake possibilities for the defending team, make it comfortable for his teammates to get those nades off successfully, but then they gotta find the opening. That's where Iconic M80, he kept finding it on the nuke. Spiker is in the same position as his Kino of Laxing inside a server with that mute. Both teams being a similar style on this Kid Storm defense and attack.
I like the mute pick for a variety of reasons, but especially with what we often see as the prevalence of Dokkaebi allows it to really influential. Down goes Spoit to Spiff. Spoit Spiff, say that 10 times fast right now.
Good luck. I'm not even gonna attempt it. It'll just be like...
Or Skies Spoit Spiff 5 times fast, see if you can do that. Halfway point of the round right now. There goes some of the goo mines from Iconic. He's about to get yet another, leaving a painful entry. Or a painful retake for anybody that wants to go into the bomb site should they get the diffuser down. Keep in mind, M80 is undefeated on this bomb site. Successfully winning it 3 times on attack, but defense is a very different ball game. Spiker might get a pick off here. Fish with a kill, he's answered by getting downed. M80 trails. Spiker not detected just yet. Can Fish be retrieved with 45 seconds to go?
No one's on camera. Iconic is now that nuke with the flank can make a huge play. Spiker again. Oh, the door's barricaded. Disaster.
That's tough for Spiker. Gives his position away, and now the cam will also see him as he shoots it. Keep in mind that Nook is cloaked to a certain extent when the cam is on and her gadget is going. Gomez will even the numbers, but down he goes as well. These teams trading so effectively. Diaz catches one on the cross as he walks in, gets the other down, and will now drop as the diffuser's been surrendered. 15 seconds and Spiff can pick it back up. He's got sole control of the bomb site as the last 2 players from M80 are down below. They'll need to retake, and they'll do so together. Kino fearlessly rushing on in. Spiff missing out on that opportunity. Towards Attic he goes. Shot through the wall from Kino. What a play. M80 still undefeated here.
Attackers need to protect the diffuser.
No idea. I was a bit confused, but they've got plenty of time to hop on it, and M80's lead will continue to grow.
Oh god, another close round, and things really, again, PB, they're really situation quite well. Members downstairs, they're far off the bomb site, they're just making an aggressive play, get on in and try and take down Diaz, but 2 very accurate shots from Diaz, it salvages the round. He drops immediately, no hesitation, allowing that 1 versus 2 retake, and then with a little bit of luck with timing, 1 member gets past the cross being held from the sledge in towards that generator area and flanks around Attic. That was not expected for them to happen. No cameras now inside to lock down that flank possibility. And because Nuke opened up the door before dying, they feared the armory flank. PB, they do not find success on attack. They desperately need it. Tertiary bomb site. This would be the time for them to find it. This is statistically where things start favoring the attackers more and more as you go through these bomb site victories for M80. Basement, defender expected. Kid Storms, I would argue 50-50. But tertiary, more often than not, favors the attack inside.
And I mean, it was the tertiary that went to the defenders of PB last time.
But all the timeout, right? They had a full 45 seconds to talk it through and really set it up. And then, of course, you got that maybe M80's attacking style was poorly judged. It was not the right way to go about it. But either way, PB didn't get around, because if not, you go match point against you. Then 1 more mistake, 1 more round, and then it's over. And you lose 7-3.
It was the last round that was successfully won by Parabellum 2. Was that dining tertiary bomb site?
That's correct.
I'd like to highlight the Dokkaebi that's on the screen right now. Spiker holding on to those secondary EMPs, but more so the 2 logic bombs in the back pocket as well. There is no mute for M80. So the 1 round that you don't see this operator get brought, despite all the play that we'd seen from mute all the way along, You now find that the single greatest counter to a Dokkaebi is no longer present. All right, fair enough.
Classic. There's a bandit though for those walls and stuff upstairs rather. That means PB to work around it. Go from the opposite side. Go from west. Small tower. This is upstairs hold from M80 though. It's gonna be Sport and well Gomez was there. He's now skedaddling out there with the Oryx. Holding upstairs.
Bomb located by
PB have to
attackers.
figure out both the vertical and horizontal take at the same time because otherwise one will be a problem for them. Spiker always on this flank. Now has a global capture on the Dokkaebi. Can help his teammates despite being alone inside the armory.
Toxin set.
Logic Bomb's finding extraordinary value. That's a bit odd to see all of the top of white stairs reinforced off.
Yeah, it's not very common.
Yeah, not common at all. I mean, but if it works, it works.
Kind of locks down so that there's no crossfire being held from either attack or defenders. But this is M80 playing a pass upstairs hold. PB have to problem solve, and so far they're not really finding any openings.
Sky's taking a bit of damage. That seems to be the first bit of contact that's occurred. Iconic just missing out on another opportunity to do so. More Gubines to go out. That first one should do the trick. He's really flirting with this first engagement. Now it's Gomez to the rescue. Takes down Spiker. Iconic didn't even take a single point of damage in that altercation. Spoit is fallen by M80's, or for M80, the hands of Parabellum.
No way in, huh? It's not that easy.
Nope.
Yeah, they gotta change their approach now. Just hit it directly from that horizontal line. But then again, the verticality becomes a problem later on. There are still members from M80 up above watching that bomb side of kitchen.
Setting a needle and then setting a nest. Just enjoying all the calls. Kino on that smoke, a very comfortable operator for him. Tossed out two of those toxic babes. Iconic still on the roam upstairs, and he is making this all his own. Finds two for the price of one. Laxing and Spiff, the last two players from Parabellum. Spiff is in the bomb site, but he doesn't have access to the diffuser, so Laxing will very quickly have to join him. He'll plant in a relatively safe spot just by split. Spiff needs to win his heads-up gun duel, and we'll go for the reload. Laxing's all by himself, popping up, and he gets caught with his pants down. Huge play from Iconic to get all three, and it's M80 to hop on that diffuser and move to match point.
Wait a second. Wait. Let's just empty the magazine a few times here. There it is.
Easy.
Okay.
Defenders disabled the diffuser.
Tertiary bomb site breaking in favor of the defense, by the way. That's 4 rounds in a row by M80. Now, here was a troubling situation that Parabellum has found itself in, was that after they burned their timeout, the conclusion around number 4, they needed to do that because they'd only had success on a single bomb site on defense. So they call their timeout and they say, we need to use this to strengthen and shore up our defense. You now have no way to fix your attacks because you've already used it. You don't have another timeout at your disposal. Troubling spot. With a team like Parabellum, you're a new team. Yes, you have some leadership from both Skies and Laxing, but if you don't have a fully defined leader the way that some other teams might, you don't have a central voice like other teams might, or a defined player to do that, then you don't really have anybody to take control of the ship and turn it around.
Yeah, and it seems like for PB, I mean, they have their fundamentals that they rely upon, but when that singular thing doesn't work for example on their defensive side, they have one way to play with single bomb side. If that doesn't work, panic. No real other options. They tried on Kid Storms with a small adaptation, didn't work either. They kept losing the same bomb side. On attack, not finding success, ever. But they're getting close, right? 2 defusers planted, however they still lose the round. And because of that perfect bomb site rotation from M80, they're gonna go back to the strongest one, the basement. And that's what they were roaming very heavily last time. And people said, you know what, let's pull a fast one. Rush the bomb site, didn't work. But now things have changed. M80, they seem to have 2 ways to play all their attacks and defenses. One very aggressive, one more passive and adaptive. Now they bring out the Smoke Toxic Babes, the Mayor Windows, the Ella Grismut Mines, and the Wamai Discs. And PB have to, again, problem solve, which honestly seems like their weakness. When an enemy isn't swinging into their gun into their face and they get a kill, they can't really break things apart strategically on their attacking round. And that is likely because they just need more time to gel together and work these things out. This is week 1, day 1 of NAL. We got much more to go.
One thing with these new rosters, and when we say new rosters, we don't mean the fact that like a team like Space Station made some serious shakeups. We're talking about like completely newly assembled team. All the way back in our very first game, just a couple minutes ago, maybe 40, 50 minutes ago, Beast Coast was a brand new team assembled likely under the eyes of Mr. B. Now Parabellum was brought together. We don't know if there was a particular brain trust behind that or whether somebody decided to take charge of that and take that initiative themselves, unsure. But either way, this PB team cobbled together and really high potential. But I mean, the question is how long does it take for them to gel? It's a hideous.
I was gonna say that
it's
stands
that's a
out.
task.
You know,
Boo. Wait, what? Whose charm is here?
that's Spoit's charm.
Is it Spoit's charm?
That is Spoit's charm.
I didn't know Spoit got a charm.
He got it this season. Yeah, I believe this season. Yeah,
Spoit streaks?
Spoit. Actually, sometimes, yeah. He also makes YouTube videos. Actually. Yeah, you might have seen them. You know, maybe. He's like the European Bolo, some people would say.
Or Bolo's the North American Spoit.
Well, except Bolo's like way older, you know? Spoit was a baby when Bolo came to his rise.
Yeah.
But still, very slow and quiet around, but PB gotta hit the speed soon, and that meeting hash looks mighty fine with 4 members on it.
Yeah, it's not gonna be the long
Oh,
drawn. Oh
boy.
no, here they go. They're at the bomb sites. Parabellum getting rebuffed by M80. 2 for 2, another added from M80, and it's all down to Skies in a 1v3. Nice flick from Skies to take one down, but he can't outduel Diaz as M80 takes a 5th round in a row.
Yeah. And I mean, PB, they cannot seem to problem solve these quote-unquote simple basic rounds that everyone gets to play in because they don't have any solutions. They drop a hatch, they rush it once again, and it is to their demise. 5 rounds in a row, M80 looked like the better team.
Huge victory for M80, and that new change or the 2 new changes paying off. The desk is going to want to talk about this, and we're not